Hello, everyone. Welcome in on this Saturday afternoon. Thank you for joining us here live from the Archers Arena in Cardiff, Wales. I'm Atticus P. Joining me today was going to be Reese Jones, but Reese is down for the count with COVID. Reese, if you're listening back at home, good luck, man. Hopefully this weekend is a good recovery one for you. Hopefully get better soon. So joining me today instead, Cardiff Met coach Tom Guntrip. Thanks for joining me, Tom, on last-minute notice.
Yeah, it's great to be here. I didn't expect it, but really looking forward to today's action.
Tom literally showed up about 2 minutes ago at the table where I'm at and offered to help out, so I'm grateful you wanted to join in today. We got a good matchup for you here this afternoon. Second place, well, third technically, Seven Oaks Suns here at the Archers Arena for the last place Cardiff Met Archers. Archers looking for their first home win of the season. Suns looking to purge, last night's tough defeat to the Lions. 2 defeats to the Lions in a week, and looking to get a win to end this week strong.
Yeah, they've had a tough 7 days. You know, they're a really good side. They'll be probably the closest to London Lions come the end of the season, and it'll be a big one for the Archers today if they can pull this off.
Archers obviously looking for that first home win of the season. It's been 340 days since their last home win, last April 2021. So we're looking for some improvement today. Obviously, if you can get a home win here, this would be quite big. Last time these two teams played wasn't so great for the Archers. 73-54 loss to the Suns on the road back in December 4th. Obviously, any improvement you can get here today on that 19-point defeat is what they're looking for. Cardiff Met have not won since October. And the Suns are 14-1, 14 wins, 1 loss. That 1 loss being last night to the London Lions by 9 points in London. So this will end the road trip for the Suns. After this, they will head back home for a match against the Caledonia Pride next weekend.
Yeah, and also I was quite surprised by the magnitude of that defeat in the final. Suns have got class across the board. I think this is probably one of the stronger rosters they've had. They've always got great players. Number 15, Judith Fritz, was a mainstay of the team here, but players like Kat Carr, she's been around for ages, but now they've got Monacana and Thompson's back in the league. So I'm surprised that they lost so heavily, and I think that, you know, given the last night's defeat, they'll be really looking to come out and make a statement early today.
Definitely so. Both teams ready for the tip-off here. Mara Makazadi goes up, but that's won by the Suns. Number 41, Jamila Thompson gets it down, and the Suns take us away. Driving inside is Frankie Wirtz. Little reverse layup, dumps it in. Easy 2 points early.
Yeah, it's a really nice move. Get to the other side of the rim, use the rim as protection against that finish, and that's a really strong, aggressive start.
Good start for the Suns. Just like last week, they started with a 6-0 run against the Lions. Last night, sorry. Didn't go well for them after that, but looking for an early start here. Kim Kang on the ball, 8 on the shot clock. Markazadi double-teamed inside and tries to get it back to Kang out of bounds. And this will be Archer basketball, 5 to go.
Yeah, I think one of the advantages there, they went to switch that, and Kat Carr is one of the biggest and strongest guards in the league, so they're not exactly giving up anything inside when they switch that. And when your perimeter players can move their feet like that as well, it makes switching a really effective option.
Psyche can't get that 3 to drop. Suns come away with the 2-0 lead in the first minute of the game. Kat Carr on it now. Back to the couple, out to the far side. Top of the arc, over. Thompson with it, driving inside of Markazadi. Makes the space, off the back iron, no. An offensive rebound. Top again, out to the wing. Suns looking to make space inside. Kat Carr, turnaround jumper. Still won't get it to fall. Cardiff Met come away with it.
Yeah, it's going to be really key that they get those defensive rebounds. You can't give a team like Seven Oaks Suns extra possessions when they finally miss.
Inside, Markazadi against 2 defenders. Kang on the offensive rebound, hitting the back, no foul called.
Yeah, there's a lot of contact on those layups there, but looked like a lot of ball there as well, so pretty good effort there by Kat Carr.
Quick little pass inside from Carr, that's out of bounds. And that'll be Archers basketball. Starting 5 for the 2 teams today. Cardiff Met, number 3, Lauren Psyche, inbounding it here to number 8, Sarah Jorgensen. Number 13, Kim Kang. 15, Mara Markazadi. 22, Shannon Hatch. For the Suns, you got number 3, Frankie Wirtz. Number 4, Julia Koppel. Number 15, Judy Fritz. 22, Kat Carr. And 41, Janice Thompson. Psyche with 8 to go. Tries to send it inside to Hatch. It's stolen away by Carr. Carr leads it up the floor. Frankie Wirtz driving inside. Another layup won't fall.
And another offensive rebound there. You force a miss in transition. You've got to make sure that you get those defensive rebounds. And again.
Yep. Just like you said, Tom, offensive rebounds causing a lot of problems for the Archers early. Already 4 offensive boards for the Suns. Kang with it. 12 to go. Coming inside. Thompson switches over to her. Tries to get it off to Hatch. Another Archer turnover. But a foul called on the Suns instead.
Yeah, they're trying to throw passes that aren't necessarily there. They probably just need to settle down a little bit, move it around in space a bit more, and then after 20 seconds of offense, that pass will be there. But after 5 or 6, the length at Seven Oaks' hands, they probably won't be able to get it through.
Well, you can see that length already causing problems for the Archers. Lots of stolen passes as they try to find space on the interior. Issy Bunyan recently checked into the game. Comes in for her first action today. Scored fresh off 22 points in the WNBL this past week. Finally getting the shots that she wants, hoping for some more today.
Yeah, I think she's coming to the game here to fix some of the size issues on the defensive end.
Got a bit of a break here. I think referees, I'm not sure what they're clearing up here. I think it was who the foul was on. Making sure the clock's all set. Looks like it is. So we're just over 2 minutes into the game. Suns with a 4-0 lead. Archers looking for their first points here at home. Psyche's got it at the top of the arc. Got to screen from Marcazotti if she wants it. Can't take it. Gets it to Marcazotti on the interior. Double teamed again. Forced back out. Bunyan, Jorgensen, 1 to go. Up for 3. Too short. And Marcazotti grabs the rebound. And a jump ball called.
Yeah, there was good patience there. You know, even though the shot clock's going off while the ball's in the air, they did really well to move it around, generate an open shot. I think it shows good composure.
It's first really open look for the Archers so far in this game. Hoping for more. Bunyan inside, under heavy pressure, and thrown out of bounds. Another turnover forced by the Suns here. Suns off to a good start already. 2 steals forced. 2 turnovers for the Archers early. Kat Carr, last season's MVP for the WBBL, bringing it up the floor here. Coming inside, loses the handle. Psyche got it to go off her leg, and that's out of bounds. Archer ball.
I mean, Kat Carr can kind of do it all. The first time I saw her play was a cup final between these two teams back in 2015, and she was the best player in the game, despite the fact that the Archers won the final. But she doesn't really have any weaknesses in her game at all.
Hatch collects it off the missed pass, and that zone drops in for the Archers. 2-4, 2 points on the board for Cardiff Met.
It's just a smooth shooting stroke.
Quick steal here, sent inside to Bunyan. Just backing away from the basket a little too much, and that shot won't fall. Carr gets it over to Thompson. Thompson looking to come inside. Big size mismatch there. To the exterior. That 3 up and away. And Archer basketball.
Bit more energy there. You know, they get the steal. Yeah, they missed the layup, but the way they were playing there in those last 45 seconds to a minute, and the way the bench reacted, that's what they've got to maintain for the rest of the 40 minutes.
Well, speaking of that big reaction, for Cardiff Met here to get a win here at home, Tom, what do they need to do? I mean, they're bottom of the league. This is one of the top teams in the league. What can they do here today?
Well, I think it's going to require stuff like that. You know, you've got to hit your shots, and it won't be enough to just have an average offensive game. They're really going to have to increase their output, and a couple of people are going to have to have season best. But also, they've kind of started to get their full roster back together, and it's about working out where are your strengths. So Lauren Psyche, Shannon Hatch, pick and roll, and a pick and pop is probably going to have to be a staple of a successful team today.
That one out of bounds. That's another turnover on the Suns here. So Archer basketball. Good start after conceding those first early 4 points. They've come back. We're tied it at 4, heading into the bottom 6 minutes of the first quarter. The last time these two teams played, like you mentioned, Tom, Lauren Psyche and Shannon Hatch both had great days. 24 points for Psyche, 18 for Hatch, but nobody else scored more than 4. That led to that big 19-point defeat. Hoping for better today. Hatch driving inside. She looks like travels there.
Yeah, good strong defense. But like you said, the supporting cast is also going to have to contribute. So now they've got Mara Marcazotti back in the lineup. We've got to make sure that they use that strength inside. And then Sarah Jorgensen, Kim Kane, Issy Bunyan have got to contribute 6 to 8 points each, I would say.
Well, Issy Bunyan didn't play the last game against the Suns. Hopefully today she can get some more for the Archers. They need, like you said, they need all the help they can get. Carr flips it over to the far side. This 3 up from the Suns. That one fires home. 7-4 lead.
Straight in off the bench for Janice Monicana, hits a 3. She's done that in cup finals before, so they're going to have to be aware that she's both a threat inside and outside.
Jorgensen trying to respond with a 3 of her own. Too high. Won't fall. Hatch offensive rebound. Still won't go for the Archers.
Yeah, not a verbal complaint there, but a quick look at the ref to say, I think I was hit there. And they're going to need their ones to fall.
Hatch trying to body down the defender, or the attacker. Doesn't matter. 2 more points here for the Suns. Julia Koppel this time. Bunyan's got it on the wing. She'll get it over to Hatch. Sets up the play. Jorgensen on the other side. Psyche, Carr defending. 10 to go. Hatch turnaround jumper. Off the front iron.
Again, it's just that size that they possess. Kat Carr, Verts, Fritz as 1-2-3. It was probably one of the biggest backcourts that the WBBL has ever had. So they're going to be able to switch and defend that post threat quite well.
Wirtz coming inside here. Psyche defending, goes back out. Monacana for 3 again. Doesn't get it to fall. Psyche gets the rebound. Has Hatch inside, won't take it. This time goes to Jorgensen. Carr defending, and Jorgensen forced back out. Marcazzati, turn around. One-handed flips the shot, and she's fouled. 2 shots to come here from Mara Marcazzati.
Yeah, and that's one of her strengths. She can go over her left shoulder, put that right hook up, and I can see her getting to the free throw line a fair bit today.
Well, she'll need to, like we've said. Archers need points anywhere they can get them today. Marcazzati averaging about 9 points per game. Just 65% from the free throw line, though. Shannon Hatch comes off the floor. Number 7, Celine Lemoyne checks back in for the Archers. First minutes of the game. And Jamila Thompson comes back in for the Suns. 9-4, Suns the 5-point lead. Just about 6 minutes into the game. Marcazzati sinks the first. She'll get the second one to fall as well. Cardiff Met cut the lead back down to 3. Archers have shot well from the free throw line throughout the season. 70% is their average. Just about mid-table.
Yeah, and they can't afford to leave 3 points at the line. They've got to make the most of those opportunities in there.
Offensive foul called here. Charge called on the Suns. I take that back. That's a blocking foul. I misread that. So blocking foul on number 7, Celine Lemoyne for the Archers. This will be Suns basketball.
I think that's a close one. I think either way, one of the coaches was going to be quite frustrated with that one. But now, number 8 for Seven Oaks Suns, they've really got to be aware of Renee Bush's shooting ability. She will catch fire at any second.
Renee Bush averaging 13 points per game. Tries to send it inside. Does Bush to the exterior again. Another 3 from Monacana up. Too far. Archers give up another offensive rebound. Monacana gets it back. Still won't drop. Bunyan looking to come inside. One-on-one here. Goes back over to Jorgensen. Jorgensen drops it back to Celine Lemoyne. Lemoyne comes inside. Little flip shot. Dumps it home.
It's quite a dynamic unit the Archers have got there. There's probably not a lot of muscle and size in there, so they're going to have to make sure that as a team they rebound. But down the offensive end, they've got quite a lot of dynamic driving ability and a little bit of unpredictableness, so that's what they're going to have to make the most of.
They're taking advantage of it so far. Only down by 1 to the Suns here. Carr looking to make space against Psyche. She will, and she dumps that home.
That's a tough shot. You can't do much better there if you're Lauren Psyche, but that's just fantastic offense.
Like you said, I don't know what you do to stop that one. Bunyan one-on-one with Carr, gets a switch here. Looking to come inside, back out. Lemoyne driving inside. Goes back to Psyche, 8 to go. Psyche on Carr, gets a bit of a switch. That ball's gonna be tied up. Jump ball, possession arrow going to the Suns here.
And that unpredictableness will also lead to offenses where there's not much structure for the 24 seconds, so it's kind of the payoff.
It's exactly what that looked like. It seems like Psyche just ran into traffic there, couldn't get out. The Suns will take possession here. Frankie Wirtz will take this one up the floor. Cardiff Met down 11-8. Bottom 3 minutes of the first quarter. Wirtz with it. Monacana now. Carr wide open from 3. Easily drains it. Another 3 for the Suns.
Yeah, miscommunication there on the back screen. They needed to switch out, but there wasn't much talking.
Laura Shanahan. Psyche got it, spins inside, takes that mid-range 2 that she likes, and she gets that one to drop for her.
Yeah, that looked tough, but she practices that sort of thing, and when you practice it that much, I think Steph Collins will be happy with that as a shot on the whole.
Carr got it now, coming inside, flips it to the other side. Wirtz driving inside, beats the defender, goes up strong and gets it home. Looking for the and one, doesn't get it called though. Suns lead by 6. Bunyan flipping it over to Roy. Tap back out. Shanahan one-on-one at the top, switches it over. Lemoyne now looking to drive inside again. Forced to pick up the dribble, takes a long range 2, won't fall. That's a long range two I don't think Steph Collins will like.
No, you don't want to rely on too many contested long twos. But Jamila Thompson there doing what she does, and again, another offensive rebound.
Wirtz, wide open three, up, doesn't fall. Archers finally come away with the ball after that.
They're not going to get away with that too many times. They've really got to make sure that they're collecting that defensive rebound.
5 offensive rebound for the Suns here in the first quarter. Only had 1 in the past few minutes, so Cardiff Met have done better on that count. Gave up 4 in those early first 2. Substitutions here. Sarah Wagstaff checks into the game for Cardiff Met. Izzy Bunyan comes off the floor.
And Sarah, it's a battle that will have happened many times in practice and many times over the last few seasons, so they both know exactly what they're going to do.
Hatch, Monokana defending. Marcusati gets it back to Psyche. 12 on the shot clock. Psyche looking to come inside. Got a triple team on her. Marcusati gets up to 2 to go. And she's going to get 1 more coming from the line.
Yeah, Renee Bush just a little bit late on the rotation there, just as Marcusati going up, just collided with her. And that's a good call. That's a really great finish under physical pressure.
One of the most impressive parts of the past couple weeks for Cardiff Met. Obviously, they haven't won in a while, but Mara Marcusati returning from her injury. She's improved notably every single week. And that play isn't something we saw from her in the first few months of the season. That free throw drops. She's got the 3-point play to go. Archer's down by 3.
Yeah, and even just hitting the free throws on M1s is just that little bit of a morale boost. Her conditioning is getting better, like you mentioned. It's not easy to come back from a foot injury and get straight into sprinting back and forth in a high-level game. But yeah, she really is bringing a bit of glue to the team.
We got a foul call on the Archers here. And Laura Shanahan, this will be Suns ball from the baseline. Just under a minute to go. Cardiff Met staying strong, only down by 3. That's probably one of the keys to today's game. You've got the home court advantage. You need to use it and keep the crowd in the game. Can't go down by too much early. Fritz, right as I say that, Fritz knocks down a 3.
She's a great shooter, and to get stuck on a screen there, but not much communication, no one switching out there. You can't allow great shooters like you got Fritz a 3-pointer that easily.
It's actually a 2 for Fritz, 18-13. Shanahan looking for the screen to come, and she's double-teamed instead. Gets it over to Wagstaff, fakes inside, and goes up and down. And that'll be another Archer turnover.
I mean, I think she should have just taken that one dribble and pulled it or dished off, but she was caught in 2 mans there. But, you know, a reasonable process there. And she knew that Udit was going to fly out at her. Smart play.
Wirtz now with 15 to go for the Suns. Just about a 5-second difference between the shot and the game clock. Monokana goes inside to Thompson. Marcusati defending. 6 to go. Fritz coming in. Psyche defending. Pushes her back. Takes the open 2. It won't drop. Archers come away with it. 3 to go. Psyche's going to have to take this one. Takes a long-range 3. Too far. And that's how the first quarter ends. Archers down 18-13. So your thoughts after the first quarter, Tom? What do you see out there that you like if you're the Suns?
I think they've utilised that height advantage well. That last shot there from Judith Fritz, so she can basically pull that over Lauren Psyche anytime she wants. They've missed a few offensive rebounds and a couple of open threes. I think from a process point of view, they've taken really good shots and they've generated those additional second chance points. They've switched well down on the defensive end. They've not really given the Archers any of the shots they wanted.
Yeah.
So even though the gap is only 5, I think they'll be much happier than the Archers. Having said that, the Archers just need to stay in the game for as long as they can. If you can keep it around the 5 to 7, maybe stretch it to 9 at worst. That sort of gap is easily overcomable in the last few minutes. It's sort of anything can happen in the last 5 minutes as long as the gap is small. You just got to stay in the game as long as you can. Try and grind away at the opposition. Hope that they have a couple of things don't go their way when you're facing sort of a bottom versus top underdog situation.
Definitely. We've seen some encouraging signs for Cardiff Met early, apart from just the score. Obviously, Mara Marcusati off to a good start. She's got 5 points for the Archers. Like we mentioned, her coming back from her injury, better conditioning, that's really big for the Cardiff Met, and we'll be looking for more from Izzy Bunyan as well off the bench. Again, coming off that 22-point performance in the WNBL this past week, finally getting her shooting up to where she wants it to be. And they'll need points from anywhere they can get them here today.
Yeah, I think at the start of the season, Izzy Bunyan was playing really well in sort of that limited roster that they had with the injuries and Lauren Psyche not arrived. She kind of lost her WBL rhythm a bit recently over the last few weeks, but it's a solid 6.5 minutes from there. And from the Archers' perspective, if they can get those peripheral players contributing like they were at the start of the season, that'll bode really well.
Both teams coming back on the floor here. Again, Suns holding on to that 5-point lead, looking to close out this road trip with a win. Again, the Suns lost in the WBBL Betty Cordona final. Betty Cordona final this past week in Glasgow to the London Lions, 36-72, and then lost the Lions again by 9 last night. So looking to end this trip with a win over Cardiff Met here in Wales today. Shannon Hatch with the ball, 16 to go on the shot clock as we start the second quarter. Psyche one-on-one with Wirtz, hands it off instead to Wagstaff. Wagstaff trying to come inside, can't beat Wirtz. Tries a bit of a long layup, that one's not going to fall. Suns basketball there. Tough shot attempt, and I think the Archers will look for better here with their possessions in the second quarter. Thompson takes us up the floor for the Suns, who come out with Renee Bush and Janice Monacana off the bench here to start the second. Thompson coming inside, picks up the dribble, step back shot, drains it.
Yeah, if the center is doing that, or your power forward is pulling up off the dribble like that, there's not too much you can really do as a defending team.
Psyche coming in, goes back out to Hatch. Hatch looking to drive inside, beats the defender, tries to lay it up, loses the handle. Knocked out of bounds off of Monacana. Laura Shanahan to send this ball in. Cardiff Met down by 7 after the first 30 seconds of the second quarter. Archers only have 4 points in the paint so far this game. Trying to get some more. Psyche with 10 to go at the top. Frankie Wirtz defending. 6 to go now. Hatch is going to take the 3 straight away. Off the back iron and now. Good offensive rebound from Marcuzzotti. Hatch again, same spot. Still won't fall. Marcuzzotti another rebound. This time gets it to go with one more.
That's great play. Shannon Hatch probably isn't missing 2 in a row from there, but fantastic from Marcuzzotti to not give up on that 2 offensive rebounds, and she gets her just rewards.
We haven't seen this a whole lot this season. Marcuzzotti already at 7 points, looking to make it 8 after this one. Really impressive start from her. Again, she's averaging just over 9 points and about 5 rebounds per game.
Yeah, she's still in the process of trying to figure out, I think, how she fits into the sort of the scoring triangle of Psyche, Hatch, and Marcuzzotti. But it's a really impressive start from her early.
Can't get that free throw to drop. She'll stay with 7 points, but still a good start from her. Cardiff Met only down by 5. Thompson out to the far side. Renee Bush wide open from 3. It bounces off the iron a few times, won't fall. Marcuzzotti a big rebound.
Yeah, she's not going to miss too many of those. You can't give Renee Bush looks. You've got to run her off the line.
Hand it off. Psyche. King back in the game now. Over to Psyche again. Drives inside. Got 3 defenders to come to her. And the handoff botched.
I think it's just a little bit too congested in there. Maybe fake it to Marcuzzotti. 3 defenders in there, which means that someone's got to be open on the perimeter.
Said Tom, you can see the Suns' length really working to their advantage right now. Cardiff Met struggling to penetrate the interior. Carr trying to beat Jorgensen off the dribble. She'll turn around, spin, drop it home.
And that's another tough take, but that's the size advantage across the board in play there.
Jorgensen's got the ball back. Kat Carr defending her. Jorgensen doesn't like that drive. She'll pull it back out and pick up her dribble. Psyche's got some space. That one knocked back by Renee Bush. 7 to go. Psyche needs to make something happen. Tries, gets it over to King instead. That 3 way too far.
Just a bit of a disrupted offense there. Not much flow. The ball not really moving quick enough to generate any reasonable look.
Thompson with it now. Gets it over. Koppel inside. Carr. Turn around. Lays it up and home. And you can see why she's the MVP of the league last season. 2 more points for Kat Carr. 9-point Suns lead. Carr already with 11 points. Psyche gets it over to Hatch. Hatch 10 to go. Takes the 3. And airball.
Yeah, just a bit off today. She's normally going to knock that one down. But the Suns are doing a really good job of hedging that pick and roll, so they're making it quite difficult for Lauren Psyche or Sarah Jorgensen to turn the corner. And that's kind of disrupting the flow of the offense. So it's really staying on one side of the floor. The ball's kind of never getting inside. So that they're just trying to blunt the point of attack, and they're doing it quite well so far.
Cardiff Met need to do the same to the Suns here on these next possessions. Archers down by 9. They cannot let the Suns get on a big scoring run here and knock them out of the game early. Sent inside to Carr. Over to Thompson on the interior. Gets the 2 to go and 1. The Suns like what they see here in this second quarter. 11-point Suns lead, and they're looking to make it 12 after the 3-point play here to come from Jamila Thompson.
Yeah, Marcazotti giving up the foul that she's been getting on the other end, and probably not a necessary one there. Go straight up. Probably don't risk trying to go for the block that you're unlikely to get.
The Archers pay the price. 3-point play goes down for the Suns. We got a timeout called on the floor here by the Archers as they're down by 12.
Yeah, I think that's a good timeout from the Archers there. A bit of a run from the Sevenoaks Suns, and you've got to try and stay in the game as long as you can. So try and blunt the run now. You've got to find some way of generating something better down this end. I think obviously they've hit a couple of layups there, but realistically they're not putting enough points on the board or even putting up enough good shots to trouble the Suns on a regular enough basis. So if I was Coach Steph Collins, I'd probably be focusing on the offensive end of the floor in this timeout, and making more adjustments down this end.
So where do you go offensively at this point? I mean, the Archers are 0-8 from 3, shooting about 46% from the interior. Where do you go at this point looking for more points?
I still think they've generated some reasonable looks, but they're just not on a consistent enough basis. So I'd probably be looking to maybe run a set that gets Marcazotti the ball in the post with the shooters spread out, or just trying to clear the floor and maybe run a Marcazotti Psyche pick and roll or Psyche Hatch pick and roll. Just spread the floor and go to one of your better looks for a couple of possessions. Just settle it down. If you're running around, sometimes when you run around too much, you can get out of flow a little bit because the ball is popping around. It's a bit of a weird one, but I think if you're struggling for rhythm, just for a couple of possessions, just run your best set. Just see what happens, and then out of that best set, you should then be able to naturally play and flow.
The Archers looking to get that set up and ready to go here. We head to the bottom 7 minutes at the second quarter. Archers down by 12 here at home. Marcazotti's got the ball, lays it off to Jorgensen. Carr defending, fakes a pass, gets it over to Bunyan. Bunyan's got 9 seconds to go. Over to King. King doesn't take the open 3, drives inside instead, dumps it off to Marcazotti. 2 to go, has to shoot sometime. King, 3 up, and it's too far. Hatch can't grab the offensive rebound.
I really like that set, to be fair. You know, they set a nice back screen for Marcazotti, flowed into a double screen for Izzy Bunyan, and then a double screen for Kim Kang. They just couldn't get a good look out of it in the end, but overall that's a pretty solid offense.
Speaking of solid offense, I think the Suns will like that look. Kat Carr, another 2 from the interior, 13 points for her. 14-point Suns lead. Marcazotti trying to spin around Carr, goes up and she's fouled. But she'll go to the line for 2 here.
And the thing about Marcazotti is that she isn't just very tall, she's also very strong. So she will dislodge you from your defensive position, and you won't be able to disrupt her shot as easily as you would with someone who was skinnier and more lightweight. Because she's got all that muscle, she's really able to power through you on her moves, and that also forces you to foul her when you can't maintain your defensive position.
Like the strength that we've seen so far from Marcazotti to start this game off. 7 points, looking to make it 9 here. She can't get the first one to drop. This is where the Archers need to connect. Again, they're just not getting anything to go from outside the perimeter. 0 for 9 from 3. All of their points coming from the interior of the free throw line. Can't let these opportunities go to waste. Second free throw does fall for her. And she'll come off for Karis Roy here.
So this seems like it'll just be a couple of minutes rest, and then she'll come back in to finish the quarter. But 10 in a row is tough for any player, let alone a big who's recovering from injury.
Suns looking to take advantage of that space in the interior. Wirtz dumps it off. Going up for 2, got it to fall. 2 more points for Judith Fritz.
No, and I don't think you can really get burnt in transition after you've just subbed on an offensive free throw. So that's, I don't think that's a particularly good bit of play there from the Archers.
Jorgensen with 12 to go for Cardiff Met. Tries to get it over to Bunyan, loses the handle. It's bouncing around. King comes away with it. 6 to go. Jorgensen looking to come inside on Carr. She will. Goes for the 2, too far. Fritz comes away with the rebound. Long pass to the interior. Wirtz wide open. Off the underside of the rim, but she's fouled. Goes to the line for 2 again.
Yeah, just a little bit flustered there. And from the Archers on the offensive end, and the ball bobbling around, and they can't pick up the 50-50 loose balls, and the ball's not hitting the rim on the shot, so it's a sign of a team that's not necessarily playing with the composure that you'd hope for.
We're really struggling here in this second quarter. Only scored a few points. Getting outscored 12 to 3 right now. 14 to 3 after that free throw. Wirtz will connect on the second as well. Suns 100% from the free throw line, 3 of 3, as they take a 33-16 lead.
But again, it's just easy looks. If you're struggling against a team and they're just scoring layups in transition, you're not really making them work hard enough. You don't really have a chance at staying in the game for as long as you want.
Hatch still can't get anything to go. Only on 2 points for the game. Archers do grab the offensive rebound. Tries to go up again. She's swatted away by Thompson.
That is a great block. That's straight to a teammate as well. That's an underrated skill of blocking the ball, is blocking it where you want to go.
Wow. Cardiff Met just in big trouble right now. Kat Carr, another easy 2 for her. Suns pulling away early, 19-point lead. Karis Roy trying to drive inside. She's fouled. Now caught on Amelia Watkins, who's just come in the game for the first time. Lauren Psyche to come back in for Kim Kang, and Janice Monakana coming in for the Suns as well. The Archers down 19, and we're only 5 minutes into the second quarter.
It's a very big lineup in here for the Suns against perhaps not a very big lineup for the Archers. So if they can't control the defensive boards here, they could be in a little bit of bother for another run.
Psyche does get the ball in, like you said, forced back out with that length. Jorgensen goes over to Bunyan. Bunyan 3, it's up, too far. Roy tries to grab the rebound. And Watkins still picks it up off the floor. Thompson coming forward, Karis Roy defending. Thompson looking to drive inside. Posts up instead, throws it back to the far side. Fritz wide open from 3. Still won't fall though.
That's another lucky escape for the Archers there. They've got to be doing better than that.
Bunyan looking to come inside, beats the defender, can't get the layup to fall. And then a foul called on Lauren Psyche on the takeaway.
That's an unfortunate one. That's a great move, and realistically she has to be finishing that. But I think it's a sign of how the Archers are feeling, that they're not able to convert those easy ones.
Definitely so. Archers only averaging about 63 points per game so far this season. Just not enough to compete with the big teams in games like this. You need to do more than that, and only got 16 in the first 16 minutes of the game.
It'll be a real big test for them now. There's plenty of size on the floor for Suns, but it's not just size, it's muscle as well. And you can talk about size, but you either mean weight or wingspan. And maybe the Archers have got a wingspan advantage here, but fundamentally there's a muscular and weight advantage for the Suns that they should be looking to take full advantage of.
Well, Watkins looking to drive inside on Bunyan, gets it over to Monakata, who drops the dribble. It's knocked out of bounds by Sarah Jorgensen. This will still be Suns basketball. Only 3 on the shot clock, though. Have to get a shot up quickly here.
Yeah, with this Suns lineup, we're going to be seeing a lot of action in the paint.
Suns already with 18 points in the paint. Inbound needs to come in quickly. It will. And it's dropped. Fritz gets it. It has to force up that one-handed shot. No. Psyche takes it down the court. Looking to drive quickly. Got a screen from Roy. Can't take advantage of it, and she'll be forced to pick it up. Bad pass back. Jorgensen with it, hands it off to Bunyan. Comes in, fakes, dumps it back. Jorgensen, 5 to go, gets it over to Lemoyne, takes a baseline 2, and it's too far.
And again, that defensive size for the Suns, disrupting that post up and the flow of the offense.
Nice block to Missy Bunyan there. First block of the game for the Archers. Bunyan 3rd in the league with 2.2 assists, or blocks, per game.
There's that wingspan advantage, making full use of it there.
Jorgensen coming inside. Another 2 goes up, and she's fouled. She'll go to the line for 2 shots here. Archers 4 of 6 on the free throw line so far today. All of those shots coming from Lara Marcazzati. So this is the first time anyone else has gone to the line for Cardiff Met. As Kat Carr and Renee Bush check back into the game for the Suns as they hold on to that 19-point lead. Just over 3 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Cardiff Met have kept things close through the first about 12 minutes of the game. And the 5 minutes since then, Suns have just built up this big lead. It's down to 18 right now. You look at the box score, Suns pretty much doing everything they want, beating the Archers in every category.
I think the Archers really need a run here. You've got to finish this quarter strong, finish it within sort of touching distance. That means if you go on a run to start the second half, then it's a close enough game. But they've really got to make sure it doesn't get away from them here and that they sort of throw the next punch.
So you can take the momentum into the halftime break here. Frankie Wirtz with the ball, drives it up the court. Psyche defending, she spins on her, looking to come in. Psyche, good recovery. Back out to Carr. Gets it over to the baseline. Coming inside is Watkins. Looking for Carr, can't find her. Now she does. Carr, 3 to go, drops it, and out of bounds off Issy Bunyan. Only 3 to go on the shot clock for the Suns, though.
Much better defensive possession there, a lot of energy, a lot of really good, solid fundamental defense, and making sure that the key scorers in the lineup that Suns have don't get the shots they want.
As Carr came in here, looks like we've got a foul called. The foul's on the Archers. Will be an off-ball foul on Joelle Moreno.
I think just got a hand caught in the cookie jar, but when there's only 3 seconds left on the shot clock, you can't really afford to be giving up a foul like that.
Definitely not. Poor foul by the Archers. The Suns get that shot clock reset that they want. Monokana gets it over to Kat Carr. 10 to go. Suns plenty of time to set up their play. Carr on Roy. Gets Roy to come out. Takes that 2 that she wants. Won't get it to fall. Gets the rebound back and lays it up and in anyway.
She's not going to miss 2 in a row from that spot. But I think what made her so impressive there was that her body shape looked like it was going to keep driving left. And she has the ability to just pull up from that awkward body position. And she's made most of them so far today.
Really made the Archers pay all around. Have not been able to stop Kat Carr. Bunyan gets it over to Moreno. 9 on the shot clock. Looking to drive. Gets it over to Roy. Picks it back up. Moreno gets pushed to come out to her. Moreno gets the offensive rebound to Celine Lemoyne. Hey, she gets it to go on the turnaround.
Not a classic possession, but it ends up with 2 points.
No.
And I think you take any possession that ends up with 2 points for your team.
Definitely so. Renee Bush gets it over to Kat Carr. Suns still trying to build on that lead. It's back to 17 points right now. Bottom 2 minutes of the second quarter. Carr spins. Won't get it to drop this time. Bunyan to take it away. Driving in on Monokana. Tries to split 2 defenders, and she's going to be fouled. This foul called on Frankie Wirtz for the Suns. And Bunyan will come to the line for 2 shots here.
Yeah, but I think Kat Carr there trying to make the point to her teammates that there's no reason to foul while she's moving away from the hoop, not really a threatening position.
Checking back in the game for the first time is Levi Warren, number 14 for the Archers. At the line now is Issy Bunyan, shooting about 68% from the free throw line. And still can't get it to fall. No points in the game for her so far. Needs something to drop, build up her confidence here. That one does drop in for her, so 1 of 2. Gets her first point on the board as she checks out of the game for Laura Shanahan. Archers get it back down to 16. Haven't been this close in a little while. And it looks like as the Suns try to send that one in, we got a foul called on Joelle Moreno again. This will send the Suns to the line for 2 free throws.
And not a necessary foul there. To be fouling before the ball's even come in about 80 feet away from your own hoop, giving them a chance at 2 shots at the line. It's just probably not a smart foul at this stage of the game.
Archers haven't sent the Suns to the line too much this game. Again, the Suns have only been to the line 3 times. They've hit all 3. Look at 2 more opportunities here for Frankie Wirtz. Wirtz already with 6 points on the game, but most of the offense for the Suns coming from Kat Carr, who's got 17. Wirtz gets it up to 7. She's an 81% free throw shooter on the year. Not going to miss many from this point. As the second one goes in as well. 4 of 4 for her from the line. Psyche coming up the floor. Wirtz gets back to defender. Coming around is Shanahan. Carr defending, gets a screen. Still on the wing. Psyche pulls up from deep 2. Hey, gets it to go. Back to a 16-point game.
Now the Archers are going to need that individual brilliance from Lauren Psyche. I don't think this is a lineup that's going to be able to generate too many sort of flowing offense looks, so they're going to require her to be able to do some stuff on her own.
Watkins hands it off to Wirtz. Monokana has Carr inside, doesn't take her. Bush. Back to Monokana. She'll drive inside and loses the handle out of bounds. Hands up in frustration. That'll be a turnover, Archer basketball.
They haven't done too many things wrong in the first half.
No.
But Karis Roy just about sliding in front there, and individual error by Janice Monokana.
Archer's trying to get this lead back down, maybe to a single-digit game or within 10 points. And that one's thrown out of bounds by Levi Warren. Not what you needed there.
Just as there was a chance for some momentum to build. It may be a Suns timeout, but I'm not convinced they particularly need it. From an Archer's perspective, you can't afford turnovers like that.
No, really poor from Cardiff Met here in the second quarter. Only had 10 points this quarter. They've been outscored 21-10 here in the quarter as the Suns hold on to that 39-23 lead so far. So again, for the Suns, 17 points from Kat Carr, 8 from Frankie Wirtz. All but 3 of their points have come from that starting lineup for the Suns. And they're just beating Cardiff Met in pretty much every category. Out-rebounding, fewer turnovers, more steals, far more assists, 9 assists for the Suns so far. You've seen it on all their offensive possessions, just move the ball around really well. Cardiff Met just have not been able to keep up.
No, and I think then there's the individual brilliance of Kat Carr coming through. You can have all the ball movement you want, but she can rise up over any defender that tends to guard her. And as she's knocking them down today, she's already above her season average on points, and we've not even had the halftime break. So I think that's a good sign for the Suns that there's also more scoring to come from players like Fritz, from Verst, from Bush. They've got loads more in the tank. And from an Archer's perspective, they've got to find a couple of units that click and just stick to those and find a new defensive strategy for Kat Carr. So they may need to come out in the second half and throw some double teams or change their pick and roll coverage. They've got to do something differently, if only to try and generate some more fast break points to get their offense juiced.
Definitely so. Right now for the Suns, this is exactly what the doctor ordered to get over those 2 losses to the Lions this past week. Renee Bush takes it up the court. About 47 seconds left to go in the second quarter. Bush drives inside, tries to kick a far pass over, knocked down by the Archers. Psyche.
Good team defense. Sorry, I had to just to say that they ran Renee Bush off the line. They've read the scout report there, forced her to try and be a playmaker, and she's turned it over. And that's the sort of thing you need to do more of.
The Archers will go to the line here for 2 points. Got 2 free throws to come from Lauren Psyche off of that foul. Psyche has as many points as she wants today. Gets that first free throw to go. She's the leading scorer for the Archers, or actually second leading scorer. Mara Marcazotti with 8 points. Psyche with 7 right now. Second free throw up and in as well, and she'll tie Marcazotti with 8 points. 8 points for her. Archers down by 14. Psyche gets it to go, knocked out of bounds. But it's still going to be Suns basketball. So about 34 seconds left to go here. Suns down by 14. They can go 2 for 1 if they want. They'll probably just bleed out the clock as much as they can.
I think if the Archers can get this to 12-10, optimistically, then they'll feel quite happy about that.
Well, they won't like that play they just gave up. Easy reverse layup from Renee Bush. Back to a 16-point lead. 14 seconds left to go. Archers will take the last shot here.
And I managed to jinx that one quite well.
Nothing wrong with that. Psyche looking for a screen from Roy. Takes a deep 2. It's up, and she gets it to fire home. 14-point game as we head into the half. That's how this half ends, 41-27. Archers down by 14. Final thoughts for the halftime break, Tom. What do you think?
Yeah, obviously the class of Seven Oaks Suns throwing through there. The Suns have clamped the Archers a little bit in terms of what actions are they generating for shots for players like Shannon Hatch, but Mara Marcazotti. Obviously Marcazotti's had some nice individual moves, but how often are they getting her open layups? How often is Shannon Hatch sort of the open pop shots that she's used to in the open rolls and in pick and roll? The Archers need to find a way to generate their best 3 players more looks. It's all well and good having ball movement, but fundamentally most possessions need to end up with the ball in the hands of your best players.
Yep.
That's sort of the unfortunate nature of this team sport. So Lauren Psyche showing what she can do there, but with Shannon Hatch struggling from the field. She's only got 2 points and she's 1 of 8 from the field. They're not going to be able to compete in a game where one of the leading scorers in the league is only having 2 points. So credit to the Suns for holding Shannon Hatch to that.
Yeah.
But the Archers need to find a way to unlock her scoring ability. And then down the other end of the floor, for the Archers' perspective, Kat Carr's doing whatever she wants, and they've given up a few too many offensive rebounds and open threes. A lot of open threes coming from those offensive rebounds. So can they change something at the point of attack to neutralise the ball handling threat? They've got to come and rebound as a team. If they can stop those second chance points and maybe get a couple of their own in transition, then they'll feel a little bit more comfortable. They'll see the ball go through the hoop a little bit more. They'll have a little bit more energy. So there's just a couple of things either end of the floor. 14's not insurmountable by any point. It's not that they're totally out of the game, but they do have to make a couple of adjustments going into the second half.
We'll see what adjustments both teams come out with to start the second half in just about 10 minutes' time. As we head into the break, Seven Oaks Suns have the lead here in Cardiff, Wales over the Archers, 41-27 here at the halftime break. Welcome back, everyone, for the start of the second half here in Cardiff, Wales, between the Sevenoaks Suns and the Cardiff Met Archers. I'm Atticus P., joined by Cardiff Met coach Tom Gunstrip. Suns have a 14-point lead, 41-27 over the Archers, as we're just about a minute away from the opening tip of the second half. As we come back from the break, Coach, what are you looking to have happen here for Cardiff Met in this third quarter? What do they need to do to get back in this game?
I think they have to make sure they have the first run. They've got to come out, they've got to throw the first punch. I'd hope they've come up with a different tactic, either to generate open looks or change the way that they're playing defense on someone like Kat Carr. But fundamentally, they've got to make sure they're doing something different from the first half. It didn't work in the first half. They're still just about in the game, but they have to come out and show something a little bit different. They've got to make sure that they control the simple things like the defensive rebounding and looking after the ball. Obviously, defensive pressure will play a part, but they've got to minimise the silly turnovers. They've at least got to be getting shots up. You can't score if you can't put the ball up, and you know the turnovers so far, they've had 7. 14 over a game is not terrible, but against a team like Suns, you lose 14 shots, you haven't really got too much of a chance.
Definitely so. The Archers average just about 19 turnovers per game so far this season. It's one of the league worst marks. Obviously, you know, the 7, I think if you'd said that coming into the game, you wouldn't be too worried about it. But like you said, Tom, you just can't give up extra possessions here to the Suns. They're one of the best teams in the league for a reason. The Suns are in third right now behind the Sheffield Hatters and London Lions. Do have a couple games in hand on the Hatters, though, and a win here will put them back in second, probably where they belong based on their performances this season, as they're 14-1. Both teams send out the same starting 5s from the start of the game here to start the second half, and the Suns will start with the ball as Kat Carr gets us underway. 20 minutes left to go. Archers trying to get that first home win of the season. Suns looking to go back up to 15-1. Thompson sends it inside to Carr. Got Jorgensen on the backside. Fritz got it, driving inside. King falls down. And we've got a foul called, blocking foul on the Archers here.
Yeah, the Suns start with the settler. They run quite a few times. They'll have Kat Carr enter the ball on the high post cut off, and then she'll look for the post up. She's got that size advantage over pretty much every single one of the Archers' guards. So it's a pretty simple one, but it does force the defense into a state of flux.
Wirtz coming inside on Psyche here, goes up strong, gets the 2 to drop, wants the foul, doesn't get it, but she's got the 2 points. Psyche hands it off to Jorgensen. Archers looking to get something going offensively. Again, only 27 points so far in the game. Not their best performance so far this season. Sent inside to Marcazzati. Tries to lay it up immediately. No. Patch gets it back. Back to Psyche. 10 to go. Takes a long-range 3. Too far. Carr sends it up quickly to Thompson. Back pass, and she's got it back again. Out to Wirtz. Coming inside on Hatch. Back to Thompson. Drives inside. Off the window. Cleanly in.
Jamila Thompson's done it for years in this league. She played abroad for a bit, but she was at Leicester Riders along with Kate Oliver and sort of the twin pairing there inside. Did a lot of damage for Leicester over the years. She's come back into Sevenoaks and just picked up where she left off.
Impressive game from her so far. Already on 7 points for the day. Averages about 7.5 per season, so she's right there so far. King loses the ball. Knocked out by Kat Carr out of bounds. Archers basketball, only 3 to go on the shot clock, though. Going to have to force something up quickly.
I think if you're at the state where with 3 or 4 seconds left on the shot clock, you're trying to throw the ball between people's legs into a post up, the offense hasn't quite got the spacing that you were after that whole time.
Psyche throws it back. Marcazzati turnaround jumper immediately, doesn't get it to fall. Thompson comes away with the rebound as she just holds it above the Archers players. Wirtz coming in. Psyche on the backside, picks up the dribble. Thompson pushes back in. Hatch keeps her out. Koppel. Carr, 6 to go. Gets a bit of a screen, finds a space, easily puts in another 2 for Kat Carr. 19 points for her.
I think the Archers are just got to make sure that both players in that situation are worried about Kat Carr. I think you'd rather Kat Carr pass the ball to Julia Koppel, and if Koppel beats you, then so be it. But I think you're letting the MVP beat you. Obviously, there's a reason she's MVP, but you've got to be forcing the ball out of her hands.
Shannon Hatch tries to get that 3 to drop, doesn't get it again. Rebound over Koppel, inside, 2-1. Hatch doesn't like it, but it doesn't matter. Another foul called on the Archers. 22-point Suns lead, 1 more to come from here.
No, I must confess, I didn't see too much wrong with that defense, but I think she was caught not basket side, and it's an easy one for the ref if they've got the sight line.
Couple on 4 points, looking to make it 5. Again, Suns 100% from the free throw line. 5 of 5 so far today. 6 of 6. So much for the commentary curse working when the Archers need it, I suppose. But that's all right. So the Suns have a 23-point lead here.
So the Suns blitzing the pick and roll there, trying to get the ball out of Lauren Psyche's hands. They know she's the key threat with the ball in the hands. And, they did a good job there, forcing an errant pass.
Force Marcazzotti to go up inside instead as she gets it to fall down. 2 in, 1 more to come.
That's a great move. She went right, faked it, turned back over her left shoulder, her left hand. When you can finish with both hands and you've got her size, she's a really tough guard down there.
She's got 10 points, looking to make it 11. Right now, 20 points between her and Lauren Psyche. From the rest of the team, just 9. Marcazzotti, the leading scorer for the Archers now with 11 points. 11 points and 5 boards for her. Been fouled 5 times as well. Most fouls of anyone in the game.
And if she can force a couple of Suns players into foul trouble, try and get the bench rotated in, that'll be one of the Archers' keys for success here.
Carr with the ball, got a screen on Jorgensen. Finds her space for the deep 2. This time it doesn't fall. But again, dangerous spot to give up for the Archers. Psyche sends it over. King doesn't take the 3. Jorgensen with it on the perimeter. Hatch near the baseline for 2. Still can't get it to fall.
That's a good look. 10. That's a good look. She's got to keep taking those.
And then she fouls Jamila Thompson as she tries to go up for the layup. So 2 fouls on Shannon Hatch there, 2 quick ones.
And the reaction from both the player and the bench. Obviously, they're slightly biased, but they seemed like it was all ball from them.
Well, this will send the Suns to the line in just a moment. It looks like this is Coach Steph Collins having a conversation with the referee a few moments ago. Obviously didn't like it. Jamila Thompson to the line for 2 here. First one up and in. Thompson up to 8 points.
Yeah, but on the replay, it looked okay.
Doesn't get the second one to fall, but hey, offensive rebound for the Suns anyway. Kat Carr looking to come inside, dumps it off behind her. Fritz with it, loses the handle, gets the ball back anyway. Koppel up, another 2, another 3-point play given up by Cardiff Met.
So in a little bit of a gut wrench at that one. You're hustling on the floor, and the ball ends up just with someone under the hoop to put it in for the easy 2. You need the 50-50 balls to go your way if you're going to get back in the game.
Easily stolen away there by Fritz as he drives inside. 1-on-2, hands it off to Carr. Carr, step back, jumper, no. Offensive rebound again for Frankie Wirtz. Wirtz spins around, goes up strong. Another 2 for the Suns.
No, really great steal there by Judith Fritz on the defensive end, just splitting the gap between the handoff and the player coming off the handoff.
Oh boy, it's starting to get ugly for the Archers. Offensive foul called on Mara Marcazzotti. And that's another turnover. Archers down by 25.
And then you can sense a little bit of a momentum shift here, just in terms of the mindset and how they're feeling. They're feeling under the cosh here. And they know that they need to go on a run soon, and that's playing into their heads a little bit.
Archers struggling. Suns looking to take advantage again here. Pass over to Wirtz. Wirtz with 9 to go. Hands it off. Fritz gets it over again to Thompson. Thompson 2 on the shot clock. Gonna have to get the shot up as Koppel. I don't think she knew about the shot. Didn't hear anything. The shot clock violation for the Suns.
Yeah, that's one of those ones where, as a coach, you'll turn to your bench and say, this is one of your duties, but also someone on the court probably needs to look up at some point.
We've got a timeout called on the floor here. Coach Steph Collins trying to get the referee to see things her way. Archers down by 25, just under 5 minutes, just over 5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter.
No, I think from a defensive perspective, they've done a little bit of a better job trying to get into Kat Carr and make it tough, but there's also been too many shots at the rim to really put together a considerable comeback. They've got to force Suns to beat them from outside, so a zone probably wouldn't work. They've got enough good shooters, but they're also scoring a lot inside, so they have to do something a bit different here. And offensively, they've generated another couple of good shots there, but they're also not necessarily looking after the ball. It's not really moving around very freely, so perhaps they just need to go to a more simplified system for the next few minutes. Just put the ball in the post, move around off it, so something like that to just settle them down a bit, hopefully generate a couple of layups.
Easy points been hard to come by for the Archers today. Like you mentioned, Tom, they've only got 10 points in the game, 10 points in the paint so far today. For the Suns, a lot better for them, 32 points in the paint. That doesn't even include their 12 points off of turnovers as well. They've got a huge lead here halfway in the third quarter, just over 15 minutes left to go. If Cardiff Met's going to come back, they'll need to do so quickly. Lawrence Psyche to take this one up the court for the Archers. And another easy steal there. Judith Fritz takes this one down the court. Fritz has works on the inside, goes back out instead to Koppel. Thompson tries to send it in, goes back from Shannon Hatch. Wirtz, Carr, gets Jorgensen, backs her down, takes that two, off the back iron, no, out of bounds, off the Suns.
Well, that all came from a very athletic play by Fritz there. She managed to stay in bounds, re-establish herself before she got the ball, and then Archer's still playing cat car 1v1 down there. I think they need to throw a second body at her or go full front. Just something that doesn't let her get to her position and take whatever shot she wants.
Marcazzani now got the ball on the interior. Flips over to the far side. Hatch over to Bunyan. Psyche with it, fakes a pass, and she's got 8 to go on the shot clock. Carr defending, picks up the dribble back. Jorgensen, 5 to go, inside, up, and it's off the glass and in. Finally, Cardiff Met score.
Yeah, really nice soft touch there, just dropping it in off the backboard, and a much-needed bucket there from Jorgensen.
Suns now trying to go the other end. Psyche almost gets the steal, but Wirtz has Psyche on the backside now. She'll go back to Koppel. Won't take the three, they'll slow it down. Carr's got plenty of space. She'll take the three, easily dumps it home. Another three for Kat Carr.
Yeah, they've got to go over on that screen there. You've got to worry about anyone else, but Kat Carr. She can't get those open shots.
Carr up to 22 points now. Psyche back out to Hatch. Hatch over to Bunyan. Bunyan's going to take a three of her own. This one up, and it's too far again. Archers nothing from behind the arc today.
As a process, that offense was much better. They had a paint touch, they moved the ball, they had a nice kick out, a couple of rotations, a dribble drive. When you're putting together chunks of a good offense, that's more or less what it starts to look like.
I'll be hoping for more of that here. Cardiff Met need points anywhere they can get them. Only 5 points here in this quarter, being outscored 17-5 in the third by the Suns. Psyche goes to Marcazzati with 12 to go on the clock. Now reset at the top with Laura Shanahan. Psyche gets it back, spins around, takes a long-range shot. She's fouled by Jamila Thompson. 2 to come from the line.
Yeah, just didn't give her the space to land. When you're guarding a jump shooter, you've got to make sure that you give them space to land, provided they go up and down. Jamila Thompson there just coming forwards a little bit and spotted by the referee.
No complaints there from Lauren Psyche this time. She'll go to the free throw line for 2 to come. Psyche shooting 78% from the line so far this season to go along with her 16 points per game. Gets that first one to go. She's at 11 points per game right now, 11 points in this game, sorry. And 3 for 3 from the free throw line. Irina is dead silent as she gets the second one to go as well. Back to a 24-point lead. Bush to take this one up the court for the Suns. Monacan on the inside, Marcazzati behind her. Turning around, looking for Bush again. Bush on the perimeter, Shanahan guarding. Carr, Wirtz, catches it. 2 to go, spins around a few times, takes that shot, won't fall.
No, Thompson complaining there about a push from Psyche, but I think it was just a good old-fashioned box that.
Hatch got it now, over to Psyche again. Psyche's going to take a shot from the same spot as the last possession, gets this one to drop.
I don't often see someone take off for a shot about 15 feet away from where they land, but that's an incredible shot making from Lauren Psyche.
Like we've mentioned in the first half and throughout all the Archers games this season, that's her favorite spot. Carr spins around on Bunyan, sends it over to Thompson, baseline 2, gets it to drop. Another 2 for the Suns.
It looked like the intention there is to double Kat Carr on the dribble, but I think by that point it's too late and the help rotation wasn't quite there to rotate down to the baseline.
Marcazotti's got the ball now. Archer's down by 24. Marcazotti on the interior, swatted away by Jamila Thompson again. Nice little stare down on the glass after.
She met Marcazotti right at the top there. It's an incredible bit of timing and skill.
Her second block of the game so far, and she'll pull down the crumpled up net as well, just for fun. Marcazotti's got the ball again, 9 to go. Thompson defending, and she'll send it back out to Psyche. 5 on the shot clock, needs to do something here. Tries to beat Bush, gets the space, underhand little granny shot, and that's not gonna fall.
Creative there, just couldn't get it to fall, but it's the sort of individual genius needed if the Archers are gonna get back in this game.
Carr now goes to Bush, knocked away by Bunyan. Psyche tries to grab the steal, and is too far. She slides about 20 feet out of bounds. This will still be Suns basketball here.
Yeah, looks like someone put some fairy liquid down at halftime. I've never seen anyone slide that far on a basketball court.
No kidding.
I'll give her a 9 for execution there.
9 for execution, but a 10 for the way she managed to not hit her head on the bench. I liked it. Well, Kat Carr with it again. 10 to go for the Suns. They look to penetrate the interior for Carterman again. Out to Wirtz on the far side, loses the handle. 3 to go now. Hatch gets it to drop back. This will be a shot clock violation on the Suns.
Either way, a lot better defensive activity there, and they got the rewards.
Now the Archers need to take advantage. Still down by 24, just over 2 minutes left to play in the third. Psyche with Bush guarding. Going back and forth, looking for her space. Habs looking for that first 3 of the game. Still can't get it to fall.
Again, a pretty good look, and she just has to keep taking those.
Bush coming inside, beats Shanahan. Takes her 2, Bunyan with the rebound. Carr tries to strip it away, and a jump ball call. Possession arrow for the Archers. Tough game for the Archers here, Tom, and obviously you're not going to win many when Shannon Hatch is 1 for 11 from the field.
I think out of those 11, 8 or 9 of those are looks that she's more likely to hit than not. It feels like on the whole, and it's just not happening today. I'd say that she's still taking reasonable looks, but she also has to keep taking those as one of the leading scorers in the league. She'll have confidence in her shot, but she also needs to keep having confidence in it. Sometimes you've just got to take the shots even if they're not dropping.
Bunyan now looking to do the same, coming inside. 3 to go. She's hit on the back as she went up for 2. She's fouled, goes to the line for 2 free throws to come for Missy Bunyan.
You can hear the bench counting down the shot clock, but I mean the offense has gone on for a while. They've moved the ball quite well. They had a couple of reversals. It was flowing quite nicely. And if you end up with someone driving into the middle of the floor, no one in front of them with 3 or 4 seconds left in the shot clock, I think it's a pretty good offense.
Again, the Archers won't say no to any points they can get right now. Bunyan hits the first free throw, second to come. And the Archers averaging just about 63 points per game so far this season, only on 37 right now. Obviously, you're not going to win many games with this kind of scoring output today. Bunyan gets the second one to go, up to 3 points for her on the game, and she'll come off the court here for Celine Lemoyne, number 7 for the Archers. Archers recognizing only 11 minutes left to go, starting a bit of a full court press here. Renee Bush comes up the floor and gets it over to Judith Fritz. Out on the perimeter, Wirtz goes to Fritz. Roy defending. Fritz one-on-one, comes inside, sends it back out. Thompson knocks it over. Wirtz, 3 to go, long range 2. Can't get it to fall. Another offensive rebound, and she's fouled by Karis Roy.
Yeah, good cut by Judith Fritz there for the rebound, and I don't think Roy was expecting her to cut in there.
Pays the price for it, foul called, and she will send Judith Fritz to the line for 2 more. Fritz is the fewest points out of the starting 5 for the Suns today. 4 so far for her, up to 5 now. All but 5 points in the game have come from the starting 5 for the Suns. Gets the second one to fall as well.
Judith Fritz, of course, the person who made the game-winning shot in the first ever game in this arena, so that's quite a familiar haunting ground for her.
One of the best shooters in the league as well, averaging about 59% overall from the field. That's top 3 in the whole WBBL.
She's got this uncanny ability to use head fakes and hesitations, and she's got really skillful presence with the ball.
Jorgensen drives inside, back out to Shanahan. Doesn't take that three. Jorgensen doesn't take it either. Coming inside again. Looks like she took too many steps. Lemoyne for three. Not going to go.
I think a couple of people there turning down shots that they should probably take from the perimeter. I don't think you get too many opportunities to have an open three against the Seven Oaks Suns. So if you've got that look, I think you have to take it. Sometimes searching for great gets in the way of taking good shots.
Monacana coming inside, beats Roy off the dribble, goes up, and she's fouled by Karis Roy. 2 to come again from Janice Monacana. I think the exact opposite of that last play for the Archers is what you just saw there. A lot of Archers not confident or just passing up those shots, and the Suns are taking every shot they want right now.
Yeah, Roy just allowing Monacana to go middle there. It puts the help in a difficult position. Where do you help from? Which shooter do you help from? And she has to play 1v1 and she has to commit the foul.
Monacana gets the first free throw to go for the Suns. Suns 9 of 10 from the free throw line here today. Gets the second one to drop as well. 64 to 38. Seven Oaks Suns on top here. 8 seconds left to go in the third. Jorgensen coming up the court quickly now. 3 to go. Driving inside on Bush. Picks up the dribble. Takes the shot. She's fouled as she goes up. 2 free throws to come here from Sarah Jorgensen. At about, looks like about a second is what they'll add on to the clock here after that foul. Half a second rather, as the Archers will try to get up to 40 points here by the end of the third.
Just enough time if they want to launch a full court heave or perhaps a tip in, but I would imagine that once that second free throw is taken, not much else is going to happen in this quarter.
When's the last time you saw a full court shot go in here?
In a game, I don't think I ever have. There was a just behind half court one right towards the end of one of our games that gave me a bit of a fright, but I've never seen a 90-foot one outside of someone messing around at training.
Well, Jorgensen gets 1 or 2 free throws to go. A little long pass forward. Fritz will try that. That's not going to go off the back iron or off the back glass and out. 64 to 39. Archers down by 25 with 10 minutes left to go, Tom. Tough game.
Quite smart play from Fritz there to let the ball bounce into her pocket. Archer switched off there for a second. A nice long pass, and they're lucky that she didn't make them pay there. I think from the Archers' perspective, they need to decide now. They're down by 26 or 25. Sorry.
Yeah.
They need to decide how they want to finish this game. Do they want to lose by 20? Do they want to try and take back this 25-point deficit? Would they rather lose by 32 and rotate a bit? There's a few different ways you can go even when you're losing like this. I'd like to see them gamble. I'd like to see them go for some form of full court press more than just man-to-man, perhaps one of their 1-2-2 zonal presses. Just something a bit different that tries to put 8 points on the board in a hurry. Force a timeout from Seven Oaks Suns. Just do a little bit of something just to get the crowd going a bit, but also if they're just going to keep doing the same thing as they've been doing for the last 30 minutes, nothing's going to change. They're going to have to change the way that they play defense a little bit. Maybe they need to come and double the ball handlers in the pick and roll. Send 2 people to Kat Carr when she goes post up. But I'd like to see a full court press here with a bit of trapping and a bit of gambling. And if after 90 seconds you give up 3 layups because you've gambled and you've tried to go the other way, then you can take it off. But I think nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Definitely not. And I think if you're Cardiff Met, you just need to look for any kind of momentum you can get heading into this game this next week against Gloucester Queens here on Wednesday. That might be your Archers again have no home wins this season. Doesn't look like they'll get another one here today. So they're trying for that first, and Gloucester Queens might be the best chance to do so. Queens 11th in the standings, and the Archers in 13th right now.
And I think the way that the Queens have been struggling recently with their rotation, this next 10 minutes is a really great chance to still focus on your core players for the Archers, and your more thinking process than anything else, but also having in the back of your mind that, yeah, we'd like to try and make a comeback here, but, you know, can we go and press them a bit, put some points on the board in a hurry, but also then Steph Collins and Steph Taberry have got to also be thinking not only about the rest of the bench, but then, like you said, Wednesday. So at what point do they pull players out to make sure they're fresh? At what point do they change the way they're discussing things in a timeout to say, right, on Wednesday we will be doing this, so let's do it today. There's a couple of things they need to balance in there, but I'd like to see them come out and give this a real go first.
Well, we'll see what they do. Again, 10 minutes left to go in this game. Suns holding on to the 25-point lead. Suns keep that similar 5 on the floor as they had at the end of the third quarter. Monacana's got it at the top of the arc. She'll pass it off here to Judith Fritz. Fritz coming inside. Hands it off to Thompson. Thompson coming in. Beats 2 defenders. Marcazzati gets the swat. Offensive rebound, though. 2 and 1 to come. Fritz again.
No, and that's very unfortunate. It's a really great block by Marcazzati just as Thompson's going to release it. Just gets it at the top, and it just happens to fall into the hands of Fritz, who's entangled in a rebounding situation with Sarah Jorgensen, and one of those ones where you can't really complain about the M1. It's just an unlucky bounce of the ball.
Well, not much the Archers can do here today. The Suns are shooting 60% from the field as that free throw drops. 3-point play completed. 67-39. Suns on top. Shooting 60% from the field. 11 of 12 from the free throw line. They're out rebounding the Archers by 7 as well. Marcazzati kicks it into Hatch. Back out. King on the run. Swatted away again by Thompson, her 3rd block of the game.
She's protecting the rim really well. They're not getting any easy looks. Even when she's not blocking them, she's still being a presence in there. And just the threat of being a shot blocker is often enough.
Mona kind of drains a long 2 on the opposite end after that block. And the Suns running right now. 30-point lead.
I'd like to see the Archers have their best lineup here to really give it a crack. I don't think this is their best lineup, and I'm not sure what they're gaining from this right now.
King coming inside, hits Thompson, who goes down. No foul call. Doesn't matter as on the air ball. Rebound from the Suns again. Long pass up to Fritz. Fritz coming inside. 1-on-2. Lays it up. Doesn't fall. Lemoyne takes it back on the opposite end. Suns recover well. The Archers will have 16 seconds on the shot clock to make the play they want here. Jorgensen finds some space, doesn't like what she sees, gets the screen and switch again, goes back to Lemoyne. Lemoyne for 2.
Lemoyne had just set a little flare screen there for Kim Kang to run to the corner while there was a pick and roll going on. They focused on the shooter, and that allowed her to slip in just for that gap there. It's the sort of small play that you really need to have lots of to add up here, and it's a good thing to have focus on.
Another long 3 from Janice Monacana again. What does it matter where it's from? Another 3 falls in for the Suns. 72-41.
Yeah, she's a triple threat. She can shoot from outside. She can do it inside, and she can do that little pick and pop stuff as well. She's a really difficult matchup.
We're struggling with all the matchups right now. Lemoyne's got it. She drives in. Offensive. Looks like this will be an offensive foul called. No blocking foul called. Instead, on Jamila Thompson. This will be Archers to inbound this one as Issy Bunyan comes on the floor for Mara Marcazzati. Looks pretty disappointed as she comes off here. And again, Archers down by 31. Just over 7 minutes, 50 seconds left to go in the 4th. King with it, gets it over to Hatch, takes that 3. Finally gets it to go.
And I think you can see in a reaction there, she thought finally as well.
Hatch, the league's leading scorer, averaging over 19 points per game, but only 5 so far today. Her first point since the first quarter. Caught out on the screen inside. 2 again from Monacana.
I think from the Suns' perspective here, the key players have done their job. I don't know when their next game is, but I would think that they would probably now need to look at rotating in the rest of the bench, just even with a couple of starters. But they know what this lineup can do. You know, they've done their job. Now it's probably a chance for some of the bench players to rotate in with some of the key players and see what they can do at the WBL level.
Ball out to Judith Fritz here on the side. Monacana's going to take yet another 3, and yet again it's going to go in. Just open again, and yet another 3 falls for the Suns. Can't be touched today.
Yeah, and this is what Monacana did in the Cup final last year. She's got the record for the most points in the Cup final, and she's doing the exact same thing here.
Archers down by 33 right now. Yet another turnover called. And Suns, there are those changes that you talked about. Amelia Watkins comes in the game, along with Julia Koppel. So not going to the far end of the bench yet. Full court press here from the Archers. Renee Bush to bring this one up the floor, not under very much pressure.
This is where I'd like just sort of double teams to come flying, just see what happens. You know, can you get a steal and a couple of cheap points, or do they go score? But you've got to take a few gambles.
Push back, 6 to go. Works one-on-one with Hatch here, looking to spin around her. Spins twice, puts it up, doesn't fall. Offensive rebound from Koppel again. Over to Watkins. Hangs on the rim and off. Swats it back out. Another offensive board again for the Suns. Koppel over, stolen away by Bunyan. Bunyan drives it up quickly here. One-on-one, looking to come inside on Bush. And we've got a double dribble called.
Just lost the ball as she was driving up there. Picked up again, and but probably needs to release it a little bit earlier, but she was in the right place on defense.
It seems like that's been happening all game for the Archers. Just really managed to beat themselves. 12th turnover for them, and they just cannot stay close to the Suns so far in this game. Fritz with the ball, 10 to go on the clock. King guarding closely over to Bush. Fakes the three, comes inside, and she's fouled by Sarah Jorgensen again as she hits her on the arm.
Well, the foul's obviously not ideal. One of the few things that the Archers have done well today is not allowing Renee Bush to have all the threes she wants. She's only managed to get 1 3 up. They've run her off the line quite well. When you're doing the scant report, you know that if you're playing in the zone, you've got to guard her, make sure she doesn't get those good ones, but they'll also run a lot of off-ball screens, and they've done a really good job making sure that she isn't able to catch fire. Now, other players have, but that's at least one positive check.
Take whatever positives you can today, that's for sure. Suns obviously quite a few more. They'll be feeling good heading into their next game against the Caledonia Pride next Saturday. Inbound, knocked away by AC Bunyan, still out of bounds though. This will still be Suns basketball. So this will keep the Suns in second place, of course. 1 behind the London Lions, who just beat them last night in the league. If the Suns can finish out the season strong, stay in second, they'll probably be getting the Essex Rebels or Nottingham Wildcats for the playoffs at home in the first round. Pretty good draw. I think the Suns will like that.
They've got a lot of firepower, as they've shown today, bringing Monica off the bench. They've done it multiple times. She comes off the bench and she'll often lead a team in scoring. That's why I'm so surprised that they scored so few against London Lions.
Shot clock violation on the Suns here. Like you mentioned, Tom, only scored 58 points last night, but even worse, 36 in that cup final against the Lions last week. Strange one. Suns are not renowned for that.
I think from a Suns perspective, they'll be happy that they've sort of got back on track here. It's been quite uncomfortable, and they've not really had to get out of maybe third gear. They've kind of dictated the shots that the Archers are allowed to take. They've looked for what they wanted. They've rarely been stopped from getting it.
Finally, AC Bunyan gets another shot to go after their own offensive board. Knocks down a 3. A long 2 instead, I apologize. So 31-point lead for the Suns heading into the bottom 5 minutes of the game. Watkins, Bunyan guarding, 8 to go, forced to hand it off to Fritz. Top of the arc, 3 to go. Takes a long 2, airballs it.
And this is a good challenge now for those players coming in on the Suns bench. Number 6, Allen, coming into the game. She's still playing against a couple of WBL starters here. Obviously, she gets plenty of that in practice, but in a game situation, this is where you learn the sort of little tricks of how to get free or how to snake through pick and rolls. All the stuff that gives you that experience as you get older. There's no place to learn like in a competitive game.
Jorgensen comes inside, and she's fouled there. That's going to be 2 free throws to come. Right after coming onto the floor, Allen fouls Sarah Jorgensen, so 2 to come from the Archers again now. Have to feel good if you're the Suns, of course. Like you mentioned, this is just what the doctor ordered. Big win here today over the Archers. And they'll be feeling good heading into that back half of the season. We'll get another chance at the Lions in the regular season and then come the playoffs. And Tom, are you expecting to see the Lions and Suns in the final again this year?
Yeah, I think right now that's what I'd be going for. There's a couple of other teams hanging around those top spots, but I still would pick Suns or Lions to beat Sheffield in a playoff game, especially when it's just a one-off. But Sheffield are vastly improved. They've brought in a lot of good players, and that's a really good top 3.
We're heading near the end of the season. Obviously, teams fighting for playoff spots right now. At the moment, Suns with a win today would jump up with a couple games in hand on the Hatters, could jump up to second. Again, looking for that early round matchup that they'll like. Lions in first place. Hatters probably dropped to third. We're 15-3 right now. Now, if you're Cardiff Met, you haven't been in the playoffs in a few years. They've been close, but normally finishing on the outside, and this season, not very close either. Where do you go from here to try to get back to the playoffs next year?
I think you've got to do a deep dive review. What were the successes, what were the failures? You can look at some of the numbers, dive into that synergy data. You know, did we press well? Did we shoot the ball well? As there's a row of lights turns itself off down the end of the court. We'll see if anyone can figure out how to put it back on. Table official back in saving the day. Yeah, I think they've got to then also look at the players that they want to keep and that you can build around. See, it's tough. The WBL isn't the sort of league where you can just get rid of 3 players, bring in 3 new ones, and easily relocate people. Yeah. On the whole, most teams aren't fully professional yet. They'll be semi-pro or close to pro. So you're sort of limited in your talent pool selection, especially if you're based in Cardiff as opposed to a more central team like based in Leicester, or if there was one in Birmingham or Nottingham. It's a bit easier to travel. Sure. I think you have to look at the style of play. You know, what was successful about it. So are you a defensive team? Are you an offensive team? Trying to supplement that. You know, they were a little bit hamstrung by injuries. Marcus Otti was out for large chunks of the season. Lauren Psyche wasn't around for the first part of the season. You know, Sari Jorgensen had registration issues at the start of the season. So with a full squad for the full season, they probably wouldn't be sitting bottom. But they're still 5 wins off the playoffs as it stands. So they'll have to do something different. But I think you need to do a deep dive review. You need to go and critically reflect on everything you've done right from pre-season, what you focused on there, what sort of games you played in pre-season. Yeah. It shouldn't be forgotten that they had some successes in the trophy, I believe it was. They managed to get through the knockouts there. I think they got to the quarter-final, the semi-final, so that it's not like they had nothing going for them. But they obviously didn't have enough in the tank for most of the season to pull off wins when most needed.
We'll be looking for that reset and trying to go again next year, trying to make the playoffs for the first time in about 4 years. Have made the playoffs into the 2017-18 season right now. Archers down by 31, heading into the bottom 3 minutes of the game.
And then the last time that the team made the playoffs, we had Marissa Quick, Hayley Simpson, Christina Schnorr, Kate Butters was playing for a bit, Steph was still playing. We had a really good team, and we still made it to 8th, and we played Sevenoaks in the first round, and we gave them a good game. I think we only lost by about 10 or 12, and we thought we were on for a win at one point. I think you still see the calibre of players. Lauren Psyche is obviously a great player. Shannon Hatch is leading the league in scoring. Yep. Marcus Otti is obviously a fearsome player when she's fully fit. And this team is bottom of the league, so I think it just shows also the standard of the WBL is increasing. And that's not necessarily a bad thing at all. Obviously, someone has to finish bottom of the league, and we hate the fact it's the Archers. But I think it shows this sort of team in previous years probably would not have been finishing bottom.
A good sign there for the Archers as Levi Warren gets her first 2 points of the game. 52-83, 2 minutes to go. Suns looking to take this one away. Kat Carr on the ball now. Carr, the game's leading scorer with 24 points. Gets it over to Wirtz, comes inside, lays it off the glass. She's up to 18 points. 85 on the board for the Suns.
And then they'll be quite pleased with this offensive output. They've been hovering around that 75 to 80 mark for most of the season. This is going to be close to their highest amount of points scored all season. And they'll be very happy with sort of the amount of points they put on the board.
Well, Lauren Psyche grabs 2 on the opposite end quickly. And trying to get momentum in for the Archers as they're getting close to that season average of 63 that they get. Looking to build whatever they can heading into that Gloucester Queens game next Wednesday night. We'll be here for that one. Wednesday night, late tip-off, about 7:45. Kat Carr gets it over to Amelia Watkins as she tries to drive in. Foul and Laura Shanahan on the floor before the shot.
And I think with the Archers giving up so many points, unless they have offensive explosion from 2 players in career games, they're not going to win any games giving up 85. And if they were holding teams to 70, 75, they'd probably back themselves to be in with a bit of a chance. But when you give up so many, unless you're a really high-scoring team, it's very unlikely.
Levi Warren comes down the floor quickly in transition, gets 2 more to drop for the Archers. Allen take it up now, loses it to Lauren Psyche. Psyche goes up, 2-1 to come. Good play there. Well, like you mentioned, Tom, the Archers have managed to finally do something to get some points on the board and momentum here at the end of this game. Might have an unsportsmanlike foul on this one, too.
Yeah, that's what the call looked like to me. And fundamentally, the last 2 minutes, you've got to be making sure that even if the game's done, you've still got to be following the rules.
I think they have called one. They're explaining it over to Coach Len Bush from the Suns right now.
Yeah, just rewatching that on the tape, it looks like they've called it for a foul from behind the play while in the front court in the last 2 minutes, so sticking to the criteria there. It's an unfortunate one. There wasn't any malice in it. She just got caught in the wrong position after turning the ball over, but according to the rule of the law, it is an unsportsmanlike.
The Archers are going to get possession after this as well. It's like he gets that free throw to drop in.
Yeah, because the basket was made on the unsportsmanlike, it's just the one free throw instead of the regular two.
We got a timeout called from the Archers here as they're looking to get the ball and get more points back on the board before the end of this game. Down by 26, just over a minute left to go in the game. 85-59, Suns on top.
So it looks like Steph Collins is going to draw up a play here. You don't get too many opportunities to practice end-of-game plays. Even in training, it's a little bit difficult to stop-start it, or if you've got a set, everyone knows it. So it's a good chance to practice it in a game-realistic situation in case you need it come Wednesday.
Well, so far tonight for the Suns, plenty of offensive output, obviously. They've got 85 points on the board, 4 players in double digits. Leading the way is Kat Carr with 24, Frankie Wirtz with 18 of her own, Jamila Thompson with 10, and Janice Monokana with 15 off the bench as the light goes out in the corner yet again. I don't know where that's coming from, Tom. Ghosts.
Yeah, very loose control panel, and the lights have got a mind of their own. They're just on the Suns out, but they've scored 85, and they've only hit 5 threes. And normally if a team's getting up to 85, they probably hit 8 or 9 threes. I think that just goes to show their dominance inside and the sort of looks they've been generating, that they can score that many and still not exactly have caught fire from downtown.
Not only that, they've only got 41 rebounds. No player's got a double-double. Just rebounds spread all around the starting 5. Every player in the starting 5 with 7 boards, except for Kat Carr, who's got 6. So everyone just doing everything out there for the Suns so far this game. Shanahan kicks it back out to Moreno, who spins, drives, off the glass, no. Tries to get the ball back, fighting for it with Watkins on the ground. Watkins grabs it and sends it away.
It's a really good serve hustle. One thing you always talk to your players about is making sure you play for the full 40 minutes, regardless of what the score is. So to see someone hustling in that situation, down lows with only a minute to go, I think it's a really positive sign from a cultural point of view. Some people would argue there's no point with only a minute and a bit to go down by 26, but I think I would argue that you should play the exact same way from the moment the ball goes up to the moment the final buzzer goes.
That's definitely been something the Archers have done well this season. They've not quit in any game they've played in. Psyche takes the long 2, won't fall again. This will be Suns basketball.
So former Archer Katie Richards there with the ball.
Gets it over to Miller. Miller splits 2 defenders, drives inside, up and off. Moreno throws it long. Psyche's got it, 13 to go to the end of this game. No shot clock for the Archers. Moreno coming inside, beats Alum, up off the glass and in. And the Suns will just dribble out the clock here. That's how this game will end. 85-61, Suns with a 24-point lead, with 24-point victory. Final thoughts on the game today, Tom?
No, I think that's very comfortable, and I think 24 points is probably close to a fair reflection. Archers won that final quarter 22-21, but they really just struggled offensively for the whole game. They weren't really able to generate consistent open looks for their best players.
Yeah.
Shannon Hatch obviously struggling. She was 1 of 6 from 2 and 1 of 6 from 3. She won't normally only have 5 points in a game.
No.
They didn't really have much flow to their offense, and defensively, Kat Carra obviously got whatever she wanted for the first 25 minutes or so, and then Janice Monokana hitting a few threes to really just kill the game right off. I think the Archers going forward need to find a way to say, right, these are the looks we're willing to give up. You are allowed to have this, this and this. We're going to force you into that. And it's obviously tough. Seven Oaks have got 7 fantastic players just at the top of the rotation.
Yep.
But you have to find a way defensively to say, right, you can't have this post up and you can't have this 3. And if someone else beats us, if the 6th player on the team beats us with 3 threes, then so be it. But you can't give the best players what they want. And then from the offensive point of view, I think you've got to find a way of getting into the stuff where your best players have the ball in their hands the whole time. I think they struggled a little bit today when the ball, ironically, when the ball moved a little bit to the wrong players in the wrong situations, and then it would get stuck, and then it finally gets back to the best players with 6, 5, 4, and that's when the rush shots come.
Yeah.
So they've got a lot of learnings to take from this. It's only 24 points there. I say only. It could have been worse. After the start they had, it definitely could have been worse. But they need to have a couple of really good practices ahead of Gloucester on Wednesday, because I think internally they'll have to consider that a must-win, for not even just for playoff races, but to say, right, we're getting back on winning track. We're doing it at home. We're doing it against another team near the bottom of the league. We're doing it against a team that we've had a couple of good games in, because before we've beaten them, we've lost to them. They know that it's going to be a close one. They just need to make sure that they have a couple of good practices, focus on what they want to focus on, and then take that forward.
Definitely so. Well, that's how the game ends today. Seven Oaks Suns 85-61, 24-point victory over the Archers. Join us Wednesday night as the Archers will go for that first home win of the season here against the Gloucester City Queens. Thank you for joining us here from Cardiff, Wales. We'll see you next time this Wednesday night, hopefully. Cardiff at Archers 61, Seven Oaks Suns 85.